we're diving deep into unlocking your potential, and I'm really excited about this one. We're talking self-accountability, we're going to be reflecting, and we're going to be talking about setting goals that actually, work, like the kind that stick with you even when things get a little crazy.
Absolutely. It's about, bridging that gap between just dreaming about a better future and actually rolling up our sleeves and building it step by step.
Yeah, love that. And forget those, those old school to-do lists. We're talking way bigger picture here. This is about becoming, and this really resonated with me from the Accountability Partner article, like becoming the architect of your own success. You
Hmm.
design the life you want, and then you become the builder to make it happen.
It's such a powerful image, right? Because it shifts the responsibility. You're not relying on some, external force, some accountability buddy to keep you on track. It all comes back to you, taking ownership.
It's true. It's like, when you finally learn a new skill, there's that moment where you're like, I did that.
Yeah.
You trust yourself more.
And just like any skill, building self-accountability, it can get easier with the right tools and practice.
Totally. It's like having, a good workout buddy. They're not doing the heavy lifting for you, but they help you stay motivated.
100%. And speaking of tools, I know we're not about pushing products here, but that MyPam AI thing, it really got me thinking. Having something to track your progress, give you those little nudges, not to replace your effort, but to amplify it,
Yeah.
powerful stuff.
It's like having a cheerleader in your pocket. But, it all comes back to that internal drive, right? You can have all the tools in the world, but without that fire. Speaking of which, anyone else finds Steve Jobs' story super inspiring? Taking that time away from Apple, it wasn't just a break, it was a reflection, and it led to some of his best work.
It just goes to show you sometimes stepping back, taking stock, even the tough times, can lead to those breakthroughs you'd never expect.
It really makes you think about what it means to, really take stock, hit the pause button.
It's like hitting the reset button, right? And that takes us to, well, reflection. It's not just about, reminiscing about the good old days. It's about going deeper, uncovering what really drives us, those values, motivations that shape our choices, even when we don't realize it.
I like that. Digging deep like an archaeological dig.
Exactly. And what you find, those insights, they can be game changers. They empower you to make decisions that truly align with who you are at your core.
It's like finally connecting the dots between, like, who you are now and who you want to become.
Right. And sometimes that means letting go of what we thought we wanted to make room for something even better.
Love that. It reminds me of, have you ever, thought about Oprah's journey? She found success in traditional news, right? But it wasn't until she really tapped into that passion to connect with people, to make a difference, that her talk show really took off.
Powerful example. It highlights how important it is to challenge those preconceived notions of success.
Totally. So how
Yeah.
do we actually, practically weave reflection into our lives? Because you shared some really cool techniques from the research.
Yeah, for sure. Journaling, for one, just getting your thoughts out of your head and onto paper can be surprisingly powerful. You start to notice patterns, you gain clarity.
It's like you're having a conversation with yourself, but like a productive one for once.
And then there's the 5 whys technique. Sounds simple, but it can be really eye-opening. When you keep asking yourself why, you get to the root of things.
It's true. Like peeling back the layers of an onion, but instead of crying, you're like, aha.
And if you're more of a visual person, mind mapping can be a game changer. You start connecting ideas and boom, new possibilities pop up.
It's like creating a roadmap of your mind. But, life rarely goes according to plan, right? So how do we set goals that can roll with the punches? Well, that's where adaptive goal setting comes in. Like, yeah, you've got your compass, you know where you want to go, but you're not afraid to, take a detour if you need to.
Exactly. And the beautiful thing is you're growing, you're learning along the way. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey, right?
It's so true, because otherwise it's like those New Year's resolutions. You set them, and then February rolls around. And you're like, what was that again? So we're talking about goals that can actually, evolve with us.
Yes. And one of the sources you sent, they talked about this framework, smarter goals. I think it's perfect for this.
Smarter goals. Okay, I'm intrigued. Break it down for me.
So you've got your, classic SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, all the good stuff, right? But then you add the ER. That's where the magic happens. Evaluated and readjusted.
Oh, I like that. So you're not just setting it and forgetting. It's like you're checking in, you're making sure it still makes sense for
Yeah,
you.
it's about progress, not perfection.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. And those adjustments, they're not failures, they're opportunities to learn and grow.
100%. And, speaking of overcoming obstacles, Nelson Mandela's story, that's like the ultimate example. Even after all those years, he never gave up on his vision, but he was willing to adapt to make it happen.
Man, that's powerful. So we've got these goals we're reflecting, but how do we actually make it all work, in real life?
Yeah.
Avoid that whole like hamster wheel feeling. That's where I think this think, do, reflect approach comes in.
100%. Because it's not just about doing things, it's about doing the right things. We can get so caught up in just checking boxes that we lose sight of the bigger picture.
It's about being intentional with our time and energy.
Exactly. And there are some great tools for this. You mentioned the Eisenhower matrix before.
Yeah, give me a quick refresher. How's that work again?
So you ask yourself two questions. Is it urgent? And is it important? And then you categorize your tasks based on that, because often it's the important but not urgent stuff that gets neglected, but that's the stuff that really makes a difference in the long run.
Oh, so true. It's easy to get bogged down by those like urgent fires and never get to the things that actually move us forward.
And that's where the Pareto principle can be super helpful, that whole 80-20 rule. Find that 20% that really drives your results, and that frees up space for what matters.
Working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
This has been amazing. So, to everyone listening, as you reflect on everything we talked about, think about those small steps you can take today to unlock your own potential. Whether it's journaling, setting smart goals, or just taking a moment to breathe and think. Remember, this is a journey, not a race. Be kind to yourself along the way and never underestimate what you're capable of achieving.